What is happening, tabletop gamers? My name is LeunameGames. Welcome back to LeunameGames. Tonight I am sharing with you how to play the 2 to 4 player stock trading game Acquire by Sid Sackson and published by Hasbro Games. Let's see what's in the box. In this game, players are trying to obtain the most money by building corporations, obtaining shares from them, and driving others into bankruptcy. To set the game up, you must first give each player 6 tiles. They will have a coordinate of a letter and a number. Now, normally you're supposed to keep these hidden from the other players, and have each player obtain 4 1000s, 3 500s, and 5 100s. Have each player choose a tile and place it in that appropriate coordination. I already have 2 set up right here for a 2-player game, and whichever tile was closest to A1 is the player who goes first. At this point, players must decide whether they want to keep the money and the shares that they acquire hidden or face up so that everyone can see. Every player's turn is comprised of 3 steps, and they are the following. First, they must place a tile and put it on the appropriate coordinate. For this case, 5G, so you will place it right here. Now, when you place a tile, one of 3 things happens. Either it will do nothing, like I have done here, or you will found a corporation. To found a corporation, a player must place a tile that actually is connecting to another tile, such as these 2. With these 2 connected, you will have founded a corporation. When a player has founded a company, they will choose the headquarters that they want. Spark, Nestor, Rove, Etch, Fleet, Bolt, and Echo. Choose the appropriate headquarters. Say, for example, this player wants to choose Spark. And you will place that on the tile that has founded the corporation. When you place a tile, it is also possible that you could place it in a way that it expands a corporation. As it's shown here, a Spark used to be 2 tiles, now it's become 4. When a player has founded a corporation, after they've laid the headquarters, they will also take a share of that corporation they founded as a founder bonus. There is the eventuality where you will place a tile that is on an intersection of 2 companies. Once you do that, you have formed a merger. What you do is you first, as I've just done, you place the tile on upside down. You then count the tiles of each of the corporations, not including the tile that caused the merger. So in this case, Echo has 2, while Etch has 4. The company who has the smaller tiles is then absorbed into the larger company, which means Echo has now been absorbed by Etch. You then take the tile and flip it back over, and all the tiles that are from the old company have now become part of the survivor. If the corporations were the same size at the time that a merger has occurred, in this case, Spark and Etch both have the same number of tiles, the player who caused the merger gets to decide which company survives and which one is gone. After the headquarters of the defunct company is removed from the board, you then distribute what's known as the stockholder bonus. To do this, every player counts how many shares of that company. The player who has the most of that name will receive the primary bonus, which depends on how many tiles that the company had before they were brought out of business. For in this case, Echo had 2. So in this case, whoever has the most would receive $4,000. The second most would receive $3,000, and the third most, if there was one, would receive $2,000. Keep in mind, you must have at least 1 share with that corporation to be considered for the bonus. If there was only 1 player who had shares in the corporation, then he would receive the first and third place bonus. If there was a tie, the players would then add the first and second place bonuses together and divide it by 2, rounding up if necessary, and the second place player gets the third place bonus, and the third place player gets no bonus. If there is a tie for second place, the second and third place bonuses are added up and divided by 2, rounding up if needed, amongst the players. If there's a tie for third, The players then just simply split the third place bonus, rounding up. After the distribution bonuses are given out, the players with shares in said company have to do at least one of three things. They can either simply keep it in their hand with hopes that that exact same company will show up again in the future. You can choose to sell it back to the bank for the money listed on the info card. The info card determines the amount of money that you will get depending on the company that was lost in the merger and the size of said company. For example, Echo had 2 tiles when it was merged into Etch, which means the value of each share would be worth $400 if you would choose to sell it. You can also choose to trade in every 2 of the defunct company shares for 1 share of the surviving company shares. It's possible that you will place a tile that will cause a merger between 3 or more companies. When this happens, the largest of the company survives, and the 2 smaller ones will become defunct, meaning that both of these businesses will go out. When a company has 10 or more tiles, like Spark does here, it is considered safe and cannot fall victim to a merge. After you have placed your tile and resolved any merges that happen, you have the option, but don't have to, purchase up to 3 stocks from any active companies on the board. To do this, you just simply consult the chart, as I stated earlier when I talked about the placeholder bonus and selling for the fund company. And to determine how much it costs, you simply take a look at the size of the corporation and compare that to the buy and sell point of said company. In this example, Spark has 17 tiles and Fleet has 4. So to buy 1 share of Fleet would cost you $500, and 1 share of Spark would cost you $700. After you've placed your tile, dealt with any mergers, and purchased all the stocks that you desired, you then draw a tile from the pile and add it to your hand. Important thing to note, it is possible to run out of money in this game. If you do run out of money, you still are allowed to place tiles and draw tiles from the pile. However, you are not allowed to purchase shares. You must wait for a company to become defunct in order to sell your shares back to the bank if you have any. You are not allowed to sell your shares at any point during the game. You must wait for a share to become defunct or receive a stockholder bonus. After playing a tile and dealing with the mergers and buying any amount of shares that you desire, you then take a tile from the following pile and add it to your hand. Once all 3 steps have been performed, your turn is over. At the end of your turn, it's a good idea to check to whether you have any tiles that are considered unplayable. And what unplayable is when you would have a tile that would normally merge 2 companies that are actually safe. If you have any tiles that are considered unplayable, you take those tiles and set them to the side face up, and they are out of the game. Take the amount of tiles then from the pile to replace it. If you have any new tiles that are considered unplayable, you must wait until your next turn to discard them. The game will end when one of 2 things happen. Either a player announces that all active corporations are safe, or when one corporation has 38 or more tiles. Important thing to note, a player does not have to announce the game is over if it benefits them to keep playing. When the game ends, the following things happen. Players will pay out 1 more stockholder share bonus, just like you would for a merge, first, second, and third, to all corporations that remain on the board. Second, you will sell any stocks of the surviving corporations that are on the board back to the bank for the money that you would receive. Stocks that are for companies that are not on the board are considered to be worth nothing. players will then count up their money, and whoever has the most money is the winner. And that is all you need to know in order to play Acquire. Thank you all as always so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you have any questions at all, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I will get back to them. Also, if you want more videos and you like tabletop gaming, you can click the link in the description. You can head on over to my other channel, youtube.com/LeunameGames. Thank you all again so much as always for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later!